All right, podcast episode...
Season 2.
Episode
4.
There we go. We're on it.
Yeah, we know what we're doing.
We do good.
We do good. Brought to you from the road again. Hopefully the background noise isn't too bad. We'll try to speak up for you guys.
Or it puts you asleep and it's kind of like zen to you. And
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is so relaxing.
Our voices and the background noise will lull you to sleep.
I love it.
We are going to do a podcast on our Vegas recap.
Yeah, so we just got back from Vegas and went there for the ASN Awards and just one heck of a couple days.
Yeah.
Thank you for checking out the Impulsive Duo podcast. Remember, our content is for 18 and over. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah, it was, 4 days. We were there. I mean, we got there Wednesday night and we left Sunday. So that's a long time. First of all, it's a long time in Vegas.
Yes, a very long time in Vegas.
Luckily, it wasn't in like a casino, because I always call it the Vegas hangover, but it's like overstimulation. Like not just from alcohol, but like from all the lights and sounds
all
and
the
people.
lights, all the people.
Yeah, so this was in more of like a boutique hotels where the hotel takeover was at the Lexi. So it wasn't like a ton of casinos or slot machines and all of that. So, but we were still exhausted all week.
We were still exhausted. I mean, it was really our first hotel takeover that we did.
Yeah, no, really, yeah.
And it's not. I think hotel takeovers are a lot different than what people essentially assume a hotel takeover is, because you're like, oh, everyone's walking around naked.
Yeah, this hotel. I mean, which is some
everyone's
hotel
doing everybody.
takeover. Some people are.
Yeah.
That is that case at some hotel takeovers, depending on where you go, city rules, things like that. This one wasn't like this. I mean, the pool was topless, but as far as like the rest of the event, it was, mostly closed.
Yeah, it was mostly closed.
Until we were at the club.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got into Vegas on Wednesday, and right in the midst of the ASN Awards going on, we were up for 6 awards total.
Yep, we were up. Unicorn Landing was up for 6 awards: best new business, best supporting business, best dating site, and best
buy events.
Yep. And then
the Impulsive Duo was up for best entertainer.
Yep.
And then Professor Pineapple was up for best educator,
which is Eric.
So, but we had a lot of fun. So, I mean, what was it like for you coming into Vegas? I mean,
obviously we've had a little bit of like, business drama, which, people listening to this podcast, some may or may not know, but there's a YouTube video out there if anybody cares to go listen. But going into it, I think we were a little anxious just because, they were asking us to make sure we were there after all the drama. Even the hotel, after like not thinking we could go, because we initially canceled the trip and we were like, we're not going to go and deal with this. They were like, no, you have to be here. And they kind of went above and beyond to make sure that we felt very welcome and wanted there. So we're like, okay, we have to go. But I think we were still a little anxious because we knew some people were going to be in the area that we had some, some kind of issues with after we served, the cease and desist papers. And so we were just, I think, a little anxious, not knowing just what to expect, I think, when we got there.
And I think it was also it wasn't like even our normal Vegas trip. It wasn't like hoorah, like pure excitement and running off of adrenaline, because we had already kind of had like an up and downward of emotions. Mm-hmm. So even pulling into Vegas a little bit, you're kind of almost apprehensive, just almost exhausted a little bit already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we were just mentally shot. We were like, what are we getting into for the next 4 days? And I guess nothing else to say, but it was like the best decision we ever made to go. I mean, purely for like mental health purposes, even like it was just such an amazing experience, and the people that rallied behind us and supported us,
and just how kind everybody was, with no other needs.
Yeah, no expectations.
Nothing, and they were just nice people.
And going above and beyond. I mean, they went above and beyond, and especially Club Whispers, we could not thank them enough. The most amazing people ever, that just going above and beyond for us, and us being recognized and having our back was I don't even have the words. It was so great.
And a lot of times people wonder what you mean by like above and beyond, but it was like the hotel offered us a big discount to make sure that we were there. Club Whispers had us literally sponsor their bar, and if you didn't know, in Vegas they don't have open bars unless it's like events and they're sponsored. They literally helped
at a
us
lifestyle club,
in a lifestyle club, and they literally ensured and made sure that we were the sponsor of the open bar for them.
For the Miss No Swimsuit contest.
For the Miss No Swimsuit contest, they publicly just paraded us through, and were just like, hey, we really love these people. They're good people.
Yeah.
Even to the point where at the end of it, we got to hang a Unicorn Landing banner in the club, which I thought was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. So it was just such a good experience. So yeah, so we'll just recap the whole week. So we got there on Wednesday, kind of did a little meet and greet, met some people. You know, when you're in this community and you're on TikTok and, you know, you do podcasts and content creation, all of that, you meet people from all over the US, you know, on your lives, you get to know these people, you're talking to these people, but you know, you're actually getting to meet them. So we got to meet some people that we have been talking to forever. I mean, Eric and Bo from, Shimmers USA had become really good friends over the past, 4 months.
Yeah, it's about that. It was probably the last, 8 weeks.
Yeah, well, no, but even before that, we talked to them a little bit. But we've gotten really close in the last several months. And they were talking a lot about, and then, there was all this kind of fallout issue we had, and they were just kind of there for us. And it's been really nice for Eric to have, another male in the lifestyle that you can kind of relate to on going through some stuff and the struggles that come with, the lifestyle. I don't know. It was just nice for Eric to have a friend, but it sucks. They live on the other side of the country. So this was just such a fun opportunity to get to meet them and then meet so many other people that we've connected with. I mean, I've, been talking to Michael for months. I mean, we've been advertising the ASN magazine, so finally get to meet him in person and his wife. And everyone that works for him. We got to meet Swingers University, which was one of our podcasts that we love, and we were voting for them. We didn't even really know them that well, but we liked their podcast. They just seemed like such sweet people, and we were voting for them a ton. And then we actually got to spend time with them, and it's just when you finally get to meet these people, and
it's one thing to text with people, even in this lifestyle, it's one thing to text with people or message with people through an app or text them, but when you meet them in person, it changes everything.
Yeah, and then you get this big group of people together, lots of content creators, and frankly, a lot of competition. You get club owners and podcasters, and a lot of these people who are in businesses that are technically in competition with each other, but there wasn't one single ounce of competition this entire trip. There was no bitterness, it was just so beautiful to see this collaboration of content creators.
Yeah, even with the clubs, it's funny because there are some aspects and depending on where you get into this lifestyle, where it's almost like turf wars and gang wars.
Yeah, there's definitely turf wars and drama.
But then you see you get the true business owners and stuff, and yeah, there might be a competing club there, but again, they know there's enough people to go around. There's no need to drag each other down. Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily have to, brag about other people. You can be kind to them and just everybody get along.
And then there was a lot of content creators, and even in the adult, entertainment industry, porn industry, there was definitely a handful. And these girls were just so excited to meet each other and make content together. And just, I don't know, to see the collaboration, especially from women, on my part, after, just things I've struggled with, was really nice. So yeah, so we just got to meet so many people, and then the first night there was a party.
There's a party at Whispers. So we ended up going to Club Whispers.
It was Risky Business Team, and Whispers isn't usually. So this was a Wednesday night. Whispers is usually only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for pool. Friday, Saturday nights, and then pool parties on Saturday and Sunday days. So they're not even open during the week, but they open for the event just to so we would have somewhere to all go hang out together and not have to just hang out in the hotel. And just kind of in a more club atmosphere with playroom, stuff like that. So it wasn't super busy Wednesday night, but everybody was a lot of the people content creators were there. And that was the first time we met Dr. Stephanie.
Yep.
Was there, remember? And her I remember she was there, and Michael and all the people he was there with. So, and Whispers is always fun because they feed you.
Yeah, they feed you, and they have a little table sitting area, and you can kind of sit around and talk with people. You can go outside to the pool area, and it was a lot of times people, it was their first time in Vegas to a club. So they didn't, realize kind of like the setup and just even how Whispers is now set up. They did some changes inside that I think really made
nice. The dance floor area, ripping down that wall and taking out that laundry room area was so nice. It made it so much more open.
Yeah, it made the club so much more inviting, and the dance floor area so much more inviting. And it was just fun that night just to sit and kind of just hang out and talk with people.
I mean, we were all exhausted. I mean, everyone had traveled that day, so I think everybody was just kind of exhausted. But we powered through, and then kind of just went back to our room and got some sleep. Eric and I are still in the middle of 75 hard, and so we were, planning on working out. We're like, oh, good, the hotel's got a gym. The gym was closed at the hotel because they had a leak and they had were repairing some stuff, and so we were like, shoot, what are we gonna do? So we went and found Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness. So we started going to Planet Fitness there while we were there.
They let us have a few day pass, which was nice, and you can get a day pass, but they let us come a couple days because we explained the situation, and it was really nice. So we still got our gym time in, which was good because it was 100, and they were like, oh, we could just go for a walk when it's freaking
105, 106,
yeah, it was 108. Yeah, it was so hot. So, in that nasty hot Vegas weather. So, so we did the gym. And then what did we do on Thursday? Oh, the pool. Was that the day we were at the pool all day?
Thursday we were at the pool all day. So
it was so hot.
It was super hot, but we finally got to jump into the pool.
At the Lexi. And it was a topless pool, but it's you have to have, bottoms and stuff. So it's not a nude pool like Whispers. But it was, so we kind of hung out. We went live for a while. We got to meet more.
We ended up getting to meet Bella and her husband.
Oh, yeah, Bella and her husband were there. Lieutenant Bella Lexi, which is she's a content creator, and they were so much fun. And it's funny because you see, just as a girl, you try not to judge people. You see these people, and they're porn stars or adult content creators, and you're like, are they going to be weird? Stand out? Are they going to be
I'm
hot shit?
Better than you.
Or are they these girls that are get all this attention? And then they were the most down to earth, sweetest people. You know what I mean? I'm just this is why as women need to stop judging each other. These women, and then we met Crystal Sparks, who's also a pretty big creator. And just so supportive of other people's businesses, and just the nicest people. So that was really fun. So fun day by the pool. Took a nap, and then we
that night we went back out.
Oh, we went to Whispers that night. Yeah. I was trying to think. Where did we do that after? We went to the pool. Yeah, we went to the pool at Whispers. That was actually the night I think we actually kind of got into the pool a little bit. No, not that night at Whispers.
Oh, no.
The pool. So that's the night I was wearing the peaks.
That's right.
Romper.
Yeah. No, that's right. We actually just went and hung out.
That was more of a chill. That was actually more of a chill night.
Yeah, both. A lot of the nights that we were actually at Whispers were very chill nights.
Well, especially the first couple nights. Yeah, the first two nights because it was just called. I'm trying to think. Did we go? I thought we went and did something else.
No.
Were we just so tired?
Yeah, we were exhausted. we were mentally fried, exhausted, and that's the funny part is even part of Vegas for me is still a cloud.
I know. I'm like, what did we do?
Because we were supposed to even fly in, but we drove, and so it's a 9-hour drive down there. So that beats you up a little bit, and then you're like, all right, put your game faces on and be friendly and mingle with everyone. But that night, we actually were able to mingle a little bit more. So we ended up just having a fun night that night. Just again chilling and stuff with friends, and then they had a bunch of seminars and stuff throughout the day. We didn't really make it to any of the seminars because it was we were dragging. We
really were dragging.
And that's the hardest thing is when life is kicking your ass, it's hard to sit and just admit and be like, hey, it's okay to be dragging ass.
Yeah, I think the emotions from the last couple of weeks had just hit us, and we were just like a brick wall.
Yeah.
And we're trying to work out a couple times a day still. It was And then on Friday we got to the gym again, and we got our In-N-Out.
Got In-N-Out.
We ate In-N-Out 3 times on this trip.
I know. In-N-Out, and then Friday night was the first hey, let's do Whispers.
Yeah, so Friday we ended up going to the club kind of early because we had to go to Whispers because we were sponsoring the open bar. And so we got there a little bit early to film some content and set up before people got there. we met, we finally got to meet Joe Grant from Topless Travel,
Yep.
who we had spoken with a couple times before, and his,
Yeah.
she's a partner, friend?
I think she works for Topless
Yeah,
Travel.
she works for Topless Travel. Her name is Amber. She was a doll and just so sweet. So we met them. And then, yeah, so we set up for the event, and,
It was the night before then on Thursday that we went to the Red Rooster then.
oh, that's what we did. I was like, I swear we did something else.
No, we were at so when we've been to Vegas, we've been to two clubs essentially. We went to Club 5150 our very first time there.
Yeah, this was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and then we've been to Whispers a few times, and so we were like, we really got to try out like a different club just to, it's good to be able to say, hey, these are what we liked, this is what we didn't, you know what I mean, just to get the vibe.
Yeah, and to be able to talk about it, because people ask us so much too, even like, we're like, oh, we've never been there. So as many clubs as we can try to like at least check out, just to like give our own feedback.
And plus we met, that's the night that I got to, you had already kind of talked to Crystal Sparks, and then we got to meet Johnny Vegas.
Yeah, her husband, partner?
Yeah, her husband. Partner. And then got to meet Crystal a lot better, just friendship-wise. And so they were like, hey, we do our podcasts and stuff Thursday nights at the Red Room. You should come down. We were like, you know what, let's do it. So we were at Whispers, and this was the thing that I actually I thought was cool, and this is what how I perceive the lifestyle should be, or how the swinger lifestyle should be. And there again, it's just, there's no right, wrong way, but Tina, the owner of Club Whispers, overhears us going, yeah, we're going to go to the Red Room, or the Red Rooster tonight to check it out.
And she was like, traitor!
But then
she was like, kidding. Yeah.
And she was all about like, hey, we used to all like kind of go at each other and stuff, and we've learned like we all just kind of support each other. And she's like, go, and if you want me to call the owners and stuff and let them know that you're on your way. Like, it was actually like over and beyond of like, hey, these clubs actually all get along, which I thought was really cool. It wasn't like, oh, if you go over there, you're not welcome back over here, or like trash talking the other club.
Yeah, like, how dare you go over there? Yeah, we're sorry, we swear we're loyal to you, but we just want to go. I was like, people just always ask us about clubs, and like, we just feel like we should like just see it. I just want to see it.
And it was funny because she said,
Red Rooster's really old and been in Vegas for a long time.
And she was urging us to go, and she's like, no, absolutely, like go, like check out the other clubs. And that was the thing that really was like, wow. Is here's these owners that are like, no, check out the other clubs. There's no animosity between us, any of that. So we went to the Red Rooster.
So it's like kind of a drive outside of Vegas, further than Whispers or anything. So we were like, oh, this is kind of a drive, but whatever. It wasn't horrible. So we got there, we pull in, and immediately we notice it's like this big, nice building. It's not really a house like a lot of them are. It's like an old, I don't know what it used to be.
It looks like it was almost it almost could have been a house, or it was like built to be a lifestyle club, or it was built to be something more than just a house.
Oh yeah, no. And if it was like a fancy mansion back in the day. So, or not mansion.
They have really easy parking there. That is a plus.
Yeah, big parking lot, which was really nice. Great parking. So we went in, and it was dead, which we were told like right away. But I think it's because the ASN Awards were in town, and it was only a Thursday night. Typically not super busy on Thursdays, but it was pretty dead. They said there was only like 40 people there or something. So we were like, well, that's fine. We just wanted to see the place. And so we paid. That one wasn't very much. I remember that was only, they gave us a discount because we were with the ASN Awards. It was only $30 for the both of us. So we're like, that's fine. Like, we just wanted to honestly like see your club and everything and just like take a look. And they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. Really cool layout.
Yeah, so it does have a very cool layout.
Older building, like some dark like wood paneling on some of it, and like kind of like, but the layout was awesome. Yeah,
and the rooms were super clean, and there was a lot of
But there was like no artwork on any of the walls.
No.
They were like solid white.
Yeah.
It was very clean looking.
It was almost like overly clean.
I know, and I was like, which is great, but I was like, it was just very stark white in those rooms. And then there was that big playroom that looked kind of cool with the beds that were like lower to the ground, like round.
Like a multi-tiered playroom.
That was like the gangbang room.
Yeah.
And that one looked pretty cool. Nobody was playing at the time. We weren't there super late. Playing doesn't typically start until later. But there was the DJ. They were doing karaoke that night.
Yeah,
Johnny Vegas and
he even gave us a shout out.
They did give us a shout out, and like, Unicorn Landing's here, and we're like, hey, it's embarrassing, but it was very nice. And there's a little bar, which again is BYOB, but they, like, you bring your own alcohol, you bring it to these people, they put your name on it, and then they serve it to you, and they have mixers. So it's kind of like you're having a bar experience, but they can't actually provide the alcohol.
Right.
So there was a bar, there was a pool table, and then they had this indoor pool and hot tub, which was honestly pretty rad.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Like, almost, you said it kind of had like a
lazy river feel.
Lazy river feel. Like, it was just very, like, the walls, I think, had murals on them.
Yeah.
Like, it's like kind of tropical. Like, it was like in a separate, I don't know. It was just very cool layout.
Uh-huh.
And then upstairs, so the downstairs is, you know, they allow single men,
Yeah,
which Whispers does not. So it's one of the reasons Whispers is so popular. And again, not anti-men, just there seems to always be some issues when you get drunk single men. I'm sorry. And this is a prime example, which we'll tell you. But anyways, and then upstairs is couples only at Red Rooster. So there's an upstairs area, but it was closed. It's only open on Fridays and Saturdays, so we didn't get to go up there. But anyways, great club, great layout. But then it wasn't very busy, and like, we were there 15 minutes, and already I could just feel some eyes just like staring at us, because it was like we were new there, we weren't regulars, we were like kind of dressed nice, and we were like, hey.
It was like a Thursday night, where anybody who's going to be at a Thursday night is typically regulars.
Yeah, and it was more casual vibe.
Yeah.
And we were like, hi. And so then this one guy comes in, and he's obviously just trashed, like super drunk, and immediately starts talking to us, comes over and just like puts his hand on my leg and is like rubbing my leg, and I'm like, I like just freeze. I don't know what to do. And I can tell he's drunk, so I'm really good at kind of like trying to defer the situation. I'm like, oh yeah, where are you from? Like, trying to make conversation with him to like get him away from me and not be rude. I didn't want to like escalate, you know, situation. And he's going off about how he's got family in Idaho, because we tell him we're from Idaho, and he's the richest person, and I don't know, he's like going on.
Yeah.
Like, cool, buddy, that's great. So I'm trying to do it, and then he reaches over and starts rubbing my leg again. And Eric said the look on my face was just, I don't even know, like,
you almost kind of freeze, because you're like, okay, what do you do? Like, it's the worst situation for anybody to be put in, because what do you do?
So yeah, so I'm rude. I'm at what? So I'm like, don't fucking touch me, and I'm a bitch. Then everyone's like looking at me, and they're like, that girl's a bitch. Or like, the guy, you know, or I say, please don't do that. Or Eric says, please don't touch my wife. And the guy like is like, oh, what the fuck? It starts, you know, getting in Eric's face. It can escalate to so many different situations. This guy was extremely intoxicated. So I'm trying to like diffuse the situation, but I literally was like, I swear to, like, if he had touched me one more time, my heel was gonna, because I was sitting down, and he was standing up, which is also very aggressive. He leaned over, standing up, and started rubbing my leg as I was sitting on a couch. And I was like, my foot is gonna go in your fucking balls or your face the next time you touch me again. I didn't say that, I should have. Anyways, so I was like, so we kind of, I don't remember how we got rid of him.
We just kind of started ignoring him, which is the easiest to do with a drunk guy.
Yeah,
and
we just
he
looked
kind
at
of
each other
got
and like
fascinated with something else.
Yeah, he saw a girl, and he's like, oh, is that my wife? And like ran after some girl, which come to find out his wife was not there. He usually is there with his wife, and he's usually not that drunk. I guess he is a regular.
Yeah.
So they were like, maybe he was fighting with his wife. I don't know. But he was, when we were like later, we did see him being escorted out. Someone was helping him put his coat on and escorting him to a cab or an Uber. Yeah. So he was being escorted out.
And the best part is okay, so that's done, and we're like, wow, okay, that was interesting. And then who comes? It was like musical chairs in front of us. Plops down another single guy.
Another single guy comes, just plops down in front of us, and he's like, hey,
where are you guys from? And it's like, it's cool to be friendly, but it's also.
But he was obviously intoxicated too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And he's talking about the club, and he's like, yeah, we don't really see people like you guys here too often. And we're like, what?
Like, yeah.
Because we were dressed up. I was wearing like that hot pink sparkly romper. I was like, no, we're just checking things out. Like, and you could tell, and like, trying to have conversations with drunk people when you're sober.
Conversation with
it's
drunk
hard.
people when you're sober is a challenge.
You're like, buddy, you're just repeating yourself over and over again. So you don't want to be, again, don't want to be rude. So you're like, but you're trying to kind of like ignore the conversation.
You're kind of trying to let it just naturally die where they get fixated on something else. Because drunk people do.
But he wasn't stopping.
just...
So finally we're like, we're going to go check out the upstairs area. And he goes, it's closed. And I was like, oh, well, we're going to go walk around.
Yeah.
And then we left because I was like, okay, I'm over this. And again, I guess we didn't say this. So Eric doesn't drink at all, which most people know. Eric's been sober for 6 years now. I've been doing this 75 hard. So I've been sober for, 60 something days now.
Yeah.
But I did Vegas without a drop of alcohol, and lifestyle events in Vegas this is all new territory for me, even not being drunk, which I'm finding it to be fine. I'm okay not drinking or having a buzz, but I do notice I get more annoyed and tired earlier. I'm not that like, let's keep partying all night till 2 a.m. I'm like, oh, it's 11. I'm sleepy. Which also hinders any playtime, because that's when people start to play after they've been drinking. So anyways, that was our experience at Red Rooster. We were there maybe 30 minutes. Yeah,
30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then. But it wasn't, all in all, I mean, it wasn't a bad experience.
No,
it's not a bad
I would
club.
Never
it's
say, like, I hate that club, don't go there. Honestly, I told everybody, because we went by ourselves at, I was with our friends that were at, that were in Vegas. I was like, honestly, if we would have gone in a big group of us, or the club would have been busier, it would have been better. Or we'd gone with friends, so at least there was a big group of us talking to each other.
Yeah.
It would have been less awkward than Eric and I just sitting there by ourselves, like, looking around. So I think on like a Friday, Saturday, when the upstairs is open, or you go with friends, absolutely. I think it's cool. I definitely think it's worth checking out. It's not a super expensive club.
No.
So that's kind of nice. And you can, if you're there in town for several days, they said if you go on Wednesday, you get a pass. And that includes your Friday, Saturday? Includes
your like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that. Like you can buy like bulk passes.
Yeah, you can buy a pass to like come back several nights and like whatever. So that's kind of a cool thing they do. So we so we were there very long, but we got to say we went. Cool layout. I think it would have been a really fun place to have like a big party. I don't know. There's like, it would have been really fun like with a big group of people. And the pool would have been super fun.
Yeah.
But anyways, we did that, and then Friday,
Friday we actually slept in a little bit, and then we ended up waking up Friday.
We went to the gym, got in
and out. And Friday we just kind of took it easy a little bit. That was the Miss No Swimsuit contest that night.
Well, yeah. During the Miss No Swimsuit contest, so we got to host the bar. So that was really cool because we got to get up on stage and kind of like talk about Unicorn Landing, and they introduced us in front of everybody. And then before the contest, and let everyone know that alcohol was on us during the event, things like that. So that was fun. And then I did something totally out of my comfort zone.
Are you a female, 18 and over, interested in the lifestyle? Come check out Unicorn Landing at unicornlanding.com or download it in your app store today.
Good.
I participated in the Miss No Swimsuit contest, which I never would have done in a million years before. I'm very, actually, for being in the lifestyle, that I'm actually very conservative and like kind of insecure about my body. And so there's just like, I'm even like, I don't even wear like lingerie around, or like, you know what I mean, at these events. Like I'm a lot more like conservative.
Yeah, no, you are.
So they convinced me to do it, and I've recently lost about 8 pounds. And so, when you lose a little weight, we've been working out. I'm like, I'm feeling a little better. I was wearing my Unicorn Landing bikini, and I was like, fuck it. And that's the cool thing about being at a club. Like, you're like, oh, look at this roll. Oh, look at this cellulite. And then you get to a club, and you see all these other women that have rolls or have some cellulite, are like beautiful women in good shape, but women just have these things, and most of these people are women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and so they have bodies, and you're like, and like your confidence level is just like, fuck it, everyone else is doing it, why not? And so that was fun. I did wear pasties though so you do in your bikini, and then you do like, there was like the nude part, I wore pasties because that was, that was my comfort level. And then I had my unicorn floaty.
Yep, you did. And that was.
If you look at our Twitter, you can see some pictures. I'll probably post them on Instagram. I just got some of the pictures back from it. The ones that I can post.
No, and it was cool to see you step out of your comfort zone into something that you normally don't do.
Eric was like shocked when I came out naked. Eric was like, "What?" I'm not mad. He was like, "No."
No, it wasn't you. It was cool to see you embrace your body because I know of your struggles that you've had.
Yeah. So that was really fun. I came in 4th out of 13.
I know.
I don't think I technically could have won because I was hosting the bar. I was a sponsor, but still, it was just really cool to be included. Came in 4th. And the winner got a trip to. So they do these. Yeah. So the winner got a trip to Hito in Jamaica for them, and then just if they paid for the girl to go, but then. So apparently they do these Miss Swimsuit contests all over, and then they do a big, all the winners come in March? Is that what
Something like that, yeah.
And they do, a big competition in March. They were like, you should come for that competition. Not beat it, but, I guess it's just a really fun week. It's in March at Hito, so I don't know. We might look into that. But, yeah, so that was really fun to be a part of that, and then we kind of just closed out the night, and then that night was fun, and so Whispers, obviously, it's a weekend, so of course it was a lot busier that night, a lot of, not people just with the event, it was open to the public still, too. So it started to get a lot busier, and I honestly was kind of in the mood to party and, play that night, but the problem is by, 11, 11:30, I'm everyone's starting to get pretty drunk. And which is fine.
And it took a while for them.
The Miss Swimsuit contest took way longer.
Because you were high on life for a little while. You were.
I was dancing sober.
Yeah, you were I can get to, or you just hit that one point where you're just having fun.
Yeah, but then I was kind of tired after the contest was over. I was like, oh my god, that took forever. It was now 11. I'm like, oh my god. But then everybody just started to get pretty drunk. People were taking shots. Because we were handing them out. But Eric and I are sitting here taking shots of water with everybody. And so then it's I even went up to some girls that I'd met, and I'm like, hey girls, and they're like, take shots with us, and I'm like, I'm not drinking right now, and they're like, oh yeah, and they're all hanging on each other, and and I'm just I see the struggles now because it's it's almost you don't fit in all of a sudden. You're you're not on the same level, and I'm like.
They don't realize you're not on the same level.
Yeah,
you realize you're not on the same level.
Well, even if it's in the playing way, I can see how it's weird. Because I never, Eric would always be like, I don't, if people get too drunk, it's weird. Which I understood. But at the same time, I was like, why? I didn't really get it. But I don't want to sit there and just hook up with somebody who's just sloppy. Because you're well, I'm drunk and now or I'm sober and you're just not even making sense over that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult because also it's even some of the people that you meet that are kind of just reserved, they're very, they're cool that way, but as soon as you get drunk, it goes to a different level to where it's way more touchy, way more just, not necessarily is it aggressive, but you're just this is a lot.
Yeah. And then we were just tired, so we hung out for a while, and since we were sponsoring, that's the other thing too, when you're hosting events, now we got to clean up all of our stuff, all of our banners, we had to get ready for Saturdays, because we had banners, so we're sitting there where everyone's partying, cleaning up everything, and doing, which it was fine, because it was just cool to be a part of it, and then I think by midnight, we were 11:30 midnight, we were okay, well I think we're gonna go, because everybody, all of our friends were just... We look over and they were all making out with each other.
They're making out, or the other group went to Fremont.
And then another group went to Fremont. And Eric and I had been there so many times, and we're like, no, we gotta stay and clean up our stuff. So we didn't go. So I was kind of in the mood to play, and I was a little bummed because I was but then all of a sudden it's I'm tired by midnight. Everyone's on a different level, and I'm I don't know. So I kind of was in this weird I want to play and be in the lifestyle, but I'm I don't know how to do this right now. I don't know. So I'm sure if I would have been more aggressive and just been fuck it, I'm gonna just start making out with some girl or something. I don't know. But anyway, so we left. We packed up everything and we ended up leaving by like midnight, which was fine. We wanted to get some sleep. The ASN Awards were the next day. We knew Saturday was going to be an even longer day.
Mm-hmm. And that was the one thing I will say is the best part is in the morning you watch all these people just sitting there and you could tell they look like death. And you could tell so badly
in the morning,
they were
everybody
hurting.
came down because we all had to come down for, certain pool party event thing that was going on in the morning to greet some people.
Yeah.
So everybody was meeting in the lobby at like 9:30, 10 a.m. the next morning, Saturday morning, with donuts and coffee and all that. And everyone comes down and everyone's just like, fuck, like just feels like shit. And everyone's just like laying there. And Eric and I are like, we're going to the gym. Like Eric and I are like, and I was like, this is the part of drinking that I don't miss. It's that brief moment for like 2 hours the night before that I'm like, oh, there was like that brief little bit that was like, God, I wish I would drink and just be on the same level as these people. As soon as I'm home and in bed, I'm not having heart palpitations like I normally get. I'm not binge eating, although we did get in and out, but I still got a lettuce wrap burger.
You did.
I did very good eating, so I'm not binge eating crap. And we didn't really have dinner, so it was technically fine. We needed to get food. But
but you also didn't feel bloated. You didn't feel sick.
Bloated.
You didn't feel exhausted.
Yeah, I had energy in the morning. I had drank a ton of water. Yeah, and I have such food aversions, and alcohol makes me like.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's like the 2 hours in that fun drunk buzz that you miss. But then as soon as like you're out of that situation, as soon as I'm like back at the hotel, like able to sleep, not drunk, get to read my book, get all cozy in bed, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not drinking. So it's just like some brief moments that I'm like, no. But yeah, so then the Saturday we all just hung out in the lobby for like 5 hours.
Yeah. And then I
didn't mean to. I came downstairs to get coffee. And the next thing I know, it was like
you just start meeting.
Everybody was in the lobby, and I'm like, dude, I was meaning to go back up and get dressed like hours ago, and here I am.
Yeah, and that was the cool thing is it was just nice to sit and just even talk with everybody, hang out with everybody, just even mingle, kind of solidify a lot of these friendships.
Yeah.
And then it came time to start getting ready.
Yeah, then we went upstairs and we took like a little power nap, and then we got ready for the ASN Awards, and we, all dressed. Oh, I went and got my hair done.
Yep, you went and got your hair done.
Sorry, we got a little power nap, and then I had my hair, I had just a blowout done. I didn't like get it like an updo or anything, but I went to, we had to go over to one of the hotel, and then we went over to the Westgate where this like blow dry bar is and we didn't realize the National
World Pool,
like billiards tournament was going on, and so Eric got to watch that, and it was like one of the biggest like tournaments in like the nation.
Oh yeah, it was huge.
It was crazy, so that was kind of cool. The hotel was packed, and then I got my hair done, and then we just went back and got ready, and then we went to the lobby and just took like a ton of pictures and made content with people.
And it's funny because you as a content creator, it's hard to find the balance. And it was good to talk to other content creators and know that it wasn't just. I get obsessive, and I know it drives my wife nuts sometimes. We got to make content. You got to do content. And it's hard to find that balance of how do you interact and keep, just friendship and keep it fun, where it's not just, oh, we got to do this, we got to do a TikTok, we got to do these pictures, we got to do.
And then you find yourself, it's busy, it's a little chaotic. So there's like all these videos you want to make, but when there's so much going on, like I remember even after Whispers, I was like, fuck, I wanted to do a talking video for Unicorn Landing at Whispers, but there was already people there and people kept talking to me, and it's just, people don't realize that like it gets a little chaotic, and like pulling out a camera and taking photos or making content is like, sometimes you're like, fuck, hold on, I gotta take this picture.
And our content's hard to do because it involves sex and it involves nudity, so it's like you're trying to get it where there's nobody in the background, there's no one naked in the back. It actually takes effort.
And you can't also have your phones at most clubs, so that's the other thing too. If you don't get there early and with permission, you can't film. We've had people literally be like, you guys really held an event. I only saw like 3 pictures. I'm like, because I wasn't running around taking pictures. You can't have phones in clubs.
All right.
So anyways, that's whatever. But anyways, so it was in the lobby of the hotel, obviously, and everyone was dressed up. So that was fun. We just took a ton of pictures and content, and that was really, really fun. And then the award show
happened, and I mean, it didn't go, I don't think, how everyone kind of quite planned it. And it's funny to watch everyone kind of tiptoe around it a little bit. I think it was great. I think it was a great concept. I think there was some changes they could have done.
Yeah, there was a little bit of drama, and not anything ASN's fault. There were some other people that caused some issues with this event, and there was some other, things that will come out, the things that went on, and we all knew, we were all aware of some of it, and we all have, Michael's back, and we kind of are all in this together. But it was not very many people that were there, and I think that was a little bit kind of like a letdown.
It was like anticlimactic.
It was anticlimactic. It's not like I expected to win all these awards and look at me, I'm the best. I mean, we're very new. But then there was like this one particular company that like not really many people had heard of, and they won like 5 awards, and everyone's like, how did they win? And like, they weren't there. And it was just a little bit, we're like, yay.
Yeah, it was just,
and not like that we were not happy for them winning, but we're like, how? I don't know. It was just kind of like, okay.
It was so built up to like that was it.
And all these people that were there, and we'd spent all this time and effort and and then it was just kind of like, okay, like I'm okay not winning. Like I really wasn't sad that I didn't win. I mean, we'd lost best dating site to SLS, which was the biggest lifestyle, which I figured that was not even.
Yeah, I was actually out of all of them, I was rooting for Cassidy because I thought they do the best job with like how their site is and follow up and all that. But yeah. Oh no. And so it was one of those, like I looked at it more from a business aspect of like, while they do a newsletter, every 2 weeks, they have a constant contact community, like customer service and involvement to the users of their app or to their site. I thought was phenomenal, and so I was kind of bummed that
that's
they
really
didn't.
good customer service on their Facebook. You have to go to the website though. Remember when I had that issue? They
that's right.
that chat.
Yeah.
So which was fine, but then there was a couple other ones like best supporting business, best new business. It's kind of this like, and not that they say they shouldn't have won. I don't want to make it sound like I'm like they shouldn't have won, but it's like, how did these people win massive amount of awards? They heard, I don't know. There was like some rumors they had a bunch of people like.
It just turned. It also went to show the cool part is how big the lifestyle was.
Yes.
Because we were up for best entertainer, and so I didn't really know any of the other entertainers there, and I was like, we lost to Tats and Pearls, and
we're like,
who is this? And then when you really look into it,
so then we looked into it.
They're huge.
Yeah, they're huge, and they throw events, and they work with Topless Travel
and Bliss Cruises.
Yeah, and like we're like, and like. We get so caught up in our little bubble, in our little TikTok bubble, and our little, our little like people that we see on a daily basis. And there's people that are so much bigger and have been in the lifestyle for so long and have no idea who we are and have no idea who any of this, even like the drama or these other creators or any of this are. And so it's like the lifestyle is so big, and it was so cool to see.
It was cool to see how big it was.
For us to mentally get out of our own little bubble and be a part of something much bigger, because after everything we have been through and all the the hurt the last several weeks and everything, all the tears and just how frustrated I've been, to see the much bigger side of it just remotivated me. It made me fall in love with the lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it wasn't like horrible. It was just like, okay. And then we all went to Whispers.
Yep.
And I think everybody was just dead.
Yeah, it was probably the most dead.
The Whispers was packed.
Whispers was packed. There's a lot of people there, but I think everybody who is involved with the ASN Awards was just, by that time, you're finally just beat. I mean, I know it was a hard week for me. I made sure, I almost put too much energy in making sure I was really extroverted.
Yeah, Eric's actually pretty introverted when it comes to like big groups of people.
Yeah,
and he was on for 4 days straight.
Yeah, and it was just like, even on Saturday, it was like they had this rehearsal thing, and it was just so much energy put into this. At a certain point, you just mentally lose it.
Yeah, but we wanted to still go participate. So everybody changed and went to Whispers. And then we all just kind of like sat there.
Yeah,
and
we just
looked
kind of
at each other. And then Eric and I found the lawn chairs out by the pool, and we were just like,
Yeah. And we just literally sat on the lawn chairs and just like looked around and just kind of talked.
And there were several people who had 5 a.m. flights, and they were there, and I'm like, how are you?
How are you here still?
They're like, I don't know, I'm gonna go sleep for like 2 hours. I was like, because a lot of people were leaving on Sunday.
Yeah.
we were lucky that we were driving home, and we had late checkout, so we didn't even have to be out of our room till noon on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
it made it easy that way. And I mean, we hung out as long as we could. We were gonna even try and go back on Sunday because they were having a pool party Sunday.
Yeah,
still
Sunday
for the
pool
ASN.
parties at Whispers are the best, and they make burgers and feed everybody, and that's supposed to be like some of the funnest parties. But we were just, everybody was dead, and there was just no way. We wanted to get on the road. I woke up with a stomach ache. I mean, I ate in and out 3 times.
Yeah, you
My
woke up
stomach
with a stomach ache.
I was like,
you didn't sleep very well, so I ended up like down in the lobby for like an hour or so, just trying to let you get more sleep. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot for 4 days. I mean, 2 days it would have been a lot easier. 4 days, 5 days.
4 days in Vegas.
Well, it was essentially 5 days because we got there Wednesday and left on Sundays. It was.
Well, you have to be on, like, talking to people, like, hey, like, you know what I mean? It's so, and there was just, I feel like there was constantly something to do. So,
yeah.
Overall, an amazing experience, though. 100% glad we went. So good business, so many business connections, so many supportive people. Definitely glad we were there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. It's definitely something that they do another one. Definitely want to go.
100%.
Probably
We're
be a
gonna
little
help
bit
Michael.
more prepared mentally
Yeah,
and
and we
physically.
told Michael that we would help him with the planning committee. So just getting a little more involved with ASN and just, yeah, it was just really cool to make,
to have it all
friendships, new
into.
connections.
Yeah, it was a great just overall experience.
Yeah. So if you're ever in Vegas, 100% check out Whispers on a Friday or Saturday night, or a Saturday or Sunday pool party.
Yeah.
Go support them. Go tell Tom and Tina, the owners, be like, Unicorn Landing sent us.
Yeah, they're just.
And just support them because they support so many awesome creators, and they're just good people.
They are. They there's no rhyme or reason. They didn't have to do anything, but they wanted to do something.
They're just kind. So, yes, great time. Love the ASN Awards. Go follow all of their social media platforms.
Yeah, and it was
support that magazine every month, and big things to come for them, and all the great creators we met. Evolve Your Intimacy, which is a sex therapist, Dr. Stephanie.
Yeah.
Swinger University, Shimmers USA,
Lieutenant Lexi Bella, Crystal Sparks, just
Johnny
Johnny Vegas,
Lorenzo, Casey Carter, she's
Yeah.
amazing. Alice Little,
won.
Follow Topless Travel, and Tom's Travel. They were there doing the Visto swimsuit contest.
Just cool to see everybody just kind of together, working together, and just
all for the same common goal. It's just spreading awareness and having fun in the lifestyle. Like just
keeping it fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for checking out our podcast, and make sure to check out www.theimpulsiveduo.com for more information and more resources.